Hi, Empaths. Welcome back. Hoping you're doing really great and surviving all the intense energy that's been swirling around our planet for a few weeks now. There's so many different reasons. Some of it's moon phases, eclipses, retrogrades, all kinds of different things. And the way that seems to be affecting us planetarily as humans is just a lot of emotional intensity and or physical intensity that is associated with emotion. So wherever you fall, maybe you've just been riding the waves of, bliss and joy, and you're not experiencing any intensity. And if that's the case, amazing. Most of the empaths that I know and work with are experiencing the energy in a lot of different ways. So recently, some of the things that have been coming into play are lots of shifts as we're upgrading. We are multidimensional empaths. We are integrating from God, the divine, but we're also extracting wisdom from a lot of different lineages based on who you work with, based on your particular structure and why you're here on the planet. What you're here to do determines where you extract your wisdom from. So the Akashic records, are a series of libraries, who knows, an infinite number of libraries that have recorded everything that's ever occurred since the beginning of time. And we have access to those libraries once we, let's say, receive security clearance. Security clearance allows us to go into, other libraries, deeper libraries, other dimensional libraries, ancestral libraries. We can access a lot of different information based on what is a part of our soul calling, what we're here to do. So many of us are, whether it's in your subconscious state, in your dream space while you're sleeping, in meditation while you actually are awake. So whether it's conscious or subconscious, many of us are beginning to flow in and out of our multi-dimensional beingness, accessing Akashic records and sometimes astral traveling and having telepathic conversations with people here on the planet, or sometimes, your ancestors. You may have connection that way with them. So we're really activating all of our multidimensional parts, all of our inner avatars, all of our different emanations of our soul and God. All of our parts, all of our gifts are being activated. The ego and our shadow are coming together, working together with our spirit and our soul, and everything is falling under the divine plan or the master blueprint of our lives. All of our parts are getting in line, towing the line, behaving themselves and in it to win it. It's like all of the work that we've done for however many years or months or whatever it's been for you, all of it is paying off because we're coming together as a multidimensional being who is flowing with the infinity circle and the infinity cycle in oneness. So instead of this choppy, disjointed, discombobulated spiritual path, it's all beginning to come together. A lot of you are anchoring and grounding and honoring who you are. You're doing so good. So many of you are doing an amazing job with self-love and self-care and honoring all that you are. It's really, really beautiful. It's a win for our empath team. That said, although you are operating in self-mastery, you're doing beautifully. You're doing beautifully. However, there's that saying, new levels, new devils, right? And there are energies. So the deeper we go, the higher we go, the more we become a purer structure and a clearer channel as a conduit as an emissary of the divine, while that's lovely and beautiful and gives us more security clearance, if you will, to go deeper and to understand more and to access the libraries within libraries, the temples within temples, the sanctuaries within sanctuaries. Empaths, when you have an amazing, beautiful experience, let's say that you go to a waterfall, in your meditation, and you're in awe of the beautiful waterfall. Well, just know there's a waterfall within the waterfall. And there's waterfalls within those waterfalls, and temples within temples, and sanctuaries within sanctuaries, and forests within forests, libraries within libraries. So always go deeper into the infinite. There's so much more to experience, so much more to learn. But although that's the beautiful journey we're on, and we're having this amazing experience of integration, we are also being hit with some very intense energies. There are energies that have been unleashed, if you will, and it's almost like they're attacks, or let's say energetic assault. Okay. And we haven't trained this long and this hard to be taken out by some energetic missile. You know what I mean? Some spiritual missile. No, we were born for such a time as this, and we trained for this. And so, empaths, this message today is basically just to encourage you and inspire you to shut it down. This agenda, this energetic assault, this nefarious, manipulative, controlling energy structure that wants to come in and distract you from your spiritual work and from recognizing your self-mastery, and from, like a lot of you, just this is new for you, grounding and anchoring in all that you are, and being stable, and even with the highs and lows of life and the hills and valleys. For some of you, this anchoring, this solidness, this knowing that you know that you know that you're here for such a time as this, and that you're divinely supported. For some of you, it's new. You barely put your toe in the water, and you're experiencing the joy and the bliss of being divinely connected and anchored and no longer dysregulated. Well, although you are just experiencing that, there's also been an energetic, like a negative energetic, it's an assault. It's an assault. We can look at it as just an obstacle in our obstacle course, just another challenge for us to overcome. And, we win, empaths. We always do. We always win. We're divinely supported. So we don't have to be afraid. I'm not telling you this so that you will go into fear. I want you to recognize this energy that has been specifically targeting empaths, okay, light workers, star seeds, but specifically empaths, we energy sensitive beings that are attempting to set stronger, firmer boundaries while at the same time embodying pure love and light to the planet. So I wrote some of them down, the way this energy is showing up. And what it's doing is it's what it's attempting to do, and it won't win if you don't let it. That's why we're talking about it right now. What it's attempting to do is undermine your self-confidence and to make you feel badly about the way you're showing up as an empath light worker. It's trying to chip away at your armor and undermine your ability to see your own strength and to be the voice of wisdom in the middle of difficult circumstances. So this energy that's attacking the starseeds, light workers, empaths, it's showing up as like accusatory tone. Someone just, you're minding your own business and someone just attacking you with, maybe they put something on your social media, or you get a text or you get a phone call, and it's at the beginning of the day. You're feeling good, you woke up great, but then there's this message from a family member or from an acquaintance or one of your customers, a client, somebody's saying something, but there's a tone, there's a tone in the email. And they say this is why we should always have conversations either in person or over the phone, voice to voice, because things can get lost in translation. We can't hear tone, right? We technically can't hear tone of an email or a text or a chat message, but we can feel that tone sometimes, right? Especially those of us empaths, we can tell when somebody has an attitude, even though we didn't hear them say they have an attitude. Just the way, the wording, right? So accusatory language or disposition towards you, judgmental language, goes along with accusatory. So feeling accused, feeling attacked, feeling judged, gaslighting. And for those of you who don't know what gaslighting is, it's when you are trying to exercise boundaries and you bring up something to someone because it's bothering you, or they've offended you, or they've hurt you, or they continue to cross your boundaries. They continue to do something that doesn't feel good to you. And so you bring it up. You're trying to be assertive and you bring it up. And instead of the person apologizing or saying, oh, wow, I didn't realize I was doing that, taking some kind of ownership, they flip it and accuse you of either doing the same thing, or they justify their behavior and communication with you because this is what you do. Well, you always do. Look at you playing victim again. You always do these things that create a problem or create a challenge. And then when people set boundaries with you, then you play victim. So they flipped it on you. And all you were trying to do was bring something up. You're trying to be assertive. You don't want to experience pain or dysfunction in the relationship, but they now have distracted you from your point, and now they've made it about them and they've made it about you in a not a great way. Okay, so that's another experience that's happening. Also nitpicking at every little thing you do. Well, it's not like this, or well, you should be doing it this way. Or passive aggressive behavior. They want something, they don't want to do something, or they don't like something, or they think something should be a certain way. But instead of just saying that, they ask you questions, or they go around, they actually do some shady stuff, like ask somebody else something or plant the seed in somebody else to come and have a conversation with you instead of being assertive. So there's some of that going on. It has a lot of different looks, this energy, making you feel less than, making you feel like you're not prepared for something, that you're not good enough, that you had your chance, those days are over, any of that kind of stuff. Okay, not feeling, of course, it's the basic things, not feeling beautiful or intelligent or handsome or good enough for the job, or you didn't get the last job that you interviewed for, and the last two you didn't get, somebody else got them, so now you're not worthy of it. You're in the wrong position, this isn't for you, you picked the wrong career. It's chipping away at your armor, your confidence, your self-esteem, and your ability to believe in yourself. That this is the energy that's surfacing right now, and it has a lot of different faces. Don't fall for it and shut it down. So baiting you into an argument, you're just having a regular conversation, or you're minding your own business, and someone says something to create an argument, to bait you. They say something that is going to make you defensive if you fall for it. They attack your creation, they attack your child, they attack the way you're dressed, or the food that you made, was better Thanksgiving was better last year, so stuff like that, baiting you into an argument, or some kind of discussion that doesn't feel good. Frustrating conversations where you just feel like you're looping, there's no solution happening, you're just going around and around. We're still talking about the same thing, I've already addressed it, or you confronted me about something, I apologize for it, I want to move on. They keep bringing it up, keep bringing it up, keep bringing it up. And if you're looping in conversation, it's wasting your time. You want to use this time to do something else. You've got projects, you've got your own work, but this person is sucking your life force and draining your energy by looping in a conversation that's dead, dry, tired, old. You want to move on already. And there's this energy, whether it's texting or voice to voice or email, we're continuing to talk about the same old ish. and we're not getting anywhere. That's an energy. Okay. People straight up being mean to you for no reason, empaths. And some of you may still be on your journey of caring and giving a what about what people think. A lot of us empaths have ascended and transcended. We don't care. We are love and light. We love you. We love the planet, but we do not give up flying. You know what you think about what we do and how we do it. It took us years, some of us, took us a really long time, right, empaths, to get to that point where we're good with it. We like ourselves. We're good with ourselves. We love ourselves. In fact, we know we're here in a humble way to help the planet. We're value creators. We're here to assist the divine and helping this planet uplift, up level, and heal and ascend ultimately. And so we're not part of the problem, we're part of the solution. And it's taken many of us a really long time to accept that and to own it and to bask in our own profundity. Somebody asked me recently, what's profundity? I use that word a lot. So profundity, your own profound nature, your own magic, your own beautiful essence, your luminescence, your magic. Okay. So when I say profundity, that's what I mean. Your own profoundness, you're an extension of the divine. How could you be anything other than profound, unique, special, lovely? While a part of this oneness, you're still unique. Your own hue, your own color, your own energy signature, the way you move through the world is lovely. So people being mean to you, inappropriate behavior, it could be anything. It could be lustful, it could be lasciviousness, it could be, all kinds of just like crazy things that people wouldn't normally do. They wouldn't do it if they were in public. They wouldn't do it in front of their mother, but they come out of pocket with some crazy something. They say something, they do something, they rub up against you. There's a lot happening right now. It's energy and it's showing up with a lot of different looks, and it's all designed to distract you and chip away at your armor and your self-confidence and your groundedness, this groundedness that you worked so hard to create for yourself. It also looks like crossing of boundaries, condescending language, guilting you into something, saying, well, after all I've done for you, or, well, you should have this, or you should have, or, why won't you ever look out for me? Or, why are you so selfish when you bought, I remember I used to stay at a particular hotel often because I had business in this particular city, which was super far away from where I live. So I would stay in this hotel. I did this for about a year. And one of the managers, I would usually show up late at night, and the evening manager was just so accommodating. They always had my room, the same room ready, and they just really took good care of me because they knew I was doing business in their city. And I would stay 3 days at a time, weekly, for a year. And so at the end of my year, it was like Christmas time, and I was no longer going to be on that particular assignment. So I bought the evening manager and a couple of the other employees some really, really nice, very unique purses, just very, very stylish, very unique, very beautiful, not something you see every day. And the manager told me that she'd gone home, and her mother was there, and her mother saw the purse, and her mother said, why didn't you get me one? Her mother didn't realize it was a gift. And her mother said, why didn't you give me one? And I was so surprised that her mother would say something like that. And I said, she expected you to give her a purse? And she said, oh, she's like that. Anytime I get something for me, doesn't matter what it is, it doesn't matter what I do, what I get, she expects that I should have gotten her one as well. And I thought, wow, that's something else, right? Having to deal with that from your own mom. But there's that energy, it's an energy, and it could be from a coworker or a boss or a sibling or a neighbor or even a significant other, guilting you into feeling badly about something you shouldn't feel badly about. Why should you feel badly that you bought yourself a purse or a nice pair of shoes, or that you are going to go on a nice vacation, or that you bought yourself a nice meal? Why should you feel badly about that? There's no reason for that, right? Also, requesting things of you that don't align. So, pushing the envelope, crossing your boundaries, asking you to do something, whether it's borrow money for the 50th time or for you to, babysit their kids, for them to go out. But, in order for you to do that, you're going to have to miss work. Something that shouldn't be asked. People, requesting something of you. This could come in the form of a letter. This could come as an email, a text. It could be a phone call. It could be a close personal friend. It could be some entitled neighbor. It could be someone in your family. But it's requesting things that don't align for you and put you in a position of having to say yes or no. And it feels uncomfortable because it's not something that they always ask, or it's something they've asked so many times and it's run its course. Okay. So putting you in a position where you are going to have to give an answer. And by the way, empaths, sometimes people want a yes or no. And you, like, let's say that they ask you a question. Well, are you going to go to the fair with the family or not? And then instead of saying yes or no, you say, okay, well, I've got to work earlier that day. And then my boss asked me to do this other thing. And I've got this. And then the person interrupts you and says, it's a simple question, yes or no. I asked you, are you going to go to the fair or not? Now, I understand how that can be frustrating for the person because they just want a yes or no answer, right? But who says there's only it's black and white, and that there's only a yes or no answer? Why do they get to set the parameters for how you respond to their question? Okay, we don't all think the same way. Some people think more linearly, and other people think more, abstractly. That's just the way our brains are. And there are these people who are very type. I won't say what type. They black and white thinking, and want things to be a certain way. And if you don't respond to them the way they want you to respond within their little box, then they're making you feel badly as if you did something wrong. It's a very simple question, black or white, yes or no. Are you going to the fair or not? But wait a minute, hold up. Wait a minute. I'm not required to communicate the way you want me to communicate. You asked me a question, and if you'd like me to answer, I'm going to answer in a way that aligns for me. It isn't yes or no. It's, it's a maybe, to be honest with you. But the way you're communicating with me is making me not want to go. Do you see what I'm saying? So standing in your truth, empaths, and not allowing somebody to box you in and make you, when I say jump, you better jump and you better ask how high. No, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. We're not here for that. And that's an energy it's very insidious sometimes, and sometimes it's very overt. It can be subtle or not, but we don't need to fall for it. But it is here on the planet. It is alive and well, and I'm showing you all the different ways it's showing up. Also, triggering the parts of you that are still wounded or that are still challenged by certain things, picking at the scab, stabbing the wound, and twisting the dagger, going for the jugular, snide remarks, cynical comments, bringing up something painful from the past, not giving you space to just ground and anchor and be, not being gracious towards you, being a little bit nasty, a little bit just, lower consciousness, lower vibe. That energy is here, empaths. I've just given you a lot of different examples of how it's showing up, but it is one nefarious energy specifically targeting empaths to undermine our structure and lower our self-esteem and our self-confidence, because we are truly, truly making an impact. The Empath Collective all over the world is waking up and aligning, and our collective light, our collective beacons of light are finding each other and connecting like ley lines. And we are energetically connected. And together we are creating a beautiful, powerful, high vibe, high frequency energy that heals our planet with love. Okay. So the energy, the opposite energy, the opposing energy is it's spiritual warfare, and it's coming towards our light to darken it, diminish it, and undermine it so that we don't do what we're here to do. But we were born for such a time as this. So periodically there are earthquakes, energetic earthquakes, where things get shaken up, and we, the empaths, feel these energetic earthquakes. The rest of the planet may not feel it, but we empaths absolutely feel the shaking up. And when it happens and you feel it in your body and you feel dysregulated and you feel overwhelmed, this is an opportunity for us to take all of our learning and all of our experience, go back into base, go into the sanctuary of the heart, download the base commands, and come out swinging and transmute that energy, recalibrate and recode the energy immediately. And as things are getting shaken up, just know that they are getting sifted and shifted out, and we are able to let go, not only for ourselves, but for the entire planet. When you feel those energetic earthquakes, brace yourself, anchor yourself in all that you know to be true. Call in your guardians and your guides that help you on this planet, and shift that energy, transmute, recode, recalibrate to a higher space, okay, that is more aligned. And empath, stop feeling badly because someone else doesn't want to engage with you when you are doing your spiritual work and you're up leveling and you're healing yourself and you're working so hard to be a better version of yourself. Just understand, if rejection is protection, if people reject you, don't want to align, they don't want to hang out, they don't want to date you, they're not calling, you're not being invited to their gatherings, stay in your lane, dear empaths, and let the shaking up and shaking out go into completion. It's a frequency difference. You don't have to take it personally. You know, you are a multidimensional being. We are multidimensional beings, multisensory, multi-complex. We have access to different lineages, different levels of consciousness, awareness, and Akashic records or Akashic wisdom. And not everybody can go with us where we're going. Not everybody can understand what vibe, what frequency we're flowing in. We're in flow state, you know, empaths. We were born for such a time as this. We have healed ourselves so powerfully, and we are in flow state with the divine. We are experiencing the infinity circle and the cycles that come with the infinity symbol. Okay, we're in flow with the divine, all in oneness. And it's very lovely and it's very beautiful. But there are beings on this planet, energies that don't understand, they can't adjust enough to, you know, land in our energy field at this time. They can't keep the pace of our frequency. You're moving at a fast pace, empaths, and it doesn't mean we can remain humble. It doesn't mean we're all that, we're better than anybody else. We're just moving at a different space and pace because we've done the work. We're in flow state in oneness. We're in flow state in oneness. Breathe that in, dear ones. You are in flow state with the divine, all in oneness. And your light is stronger than anything that is triggering you at this time, anything that's trying to undermine your confidence and sabotage your spiritual work. Nothing is capable of doing that, but keep your eye on the prize, keep focused, keep third eye open, keep your dial pure, your channel clear. Continue to go into the sanctuary of the heart, abide in that cocoon space, heal, transmute, transform, recalibrate yourself. First, come out strong, come out swinging. You know what I'm saying? Embodying the light of the divine, being the conduit. Be the conduit, just be the conduit, just be the conduit. Take in the light, take in the medicine, and let it come out through your heart with love and light to the collective. Okay? Stay focused, stay the course. You got this. You are divinely supported. All right, dear ones, these are the messages that I have for you. Stay the course. I'm sending you lots of love and light. Can't wait to see you again.